Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Big T. Anderson. This was What Was That Thud by Milady Montrose. Now, obviously, this is from the Steven Universe fandom. If you're new here, the links down below will go to the author's fandom page. Sorry, the author's fanfiction page. Wow, I botched that one already. It's not a true fanfiction reading until I screw something up. Since we already did it now, we got that one out of the way. Anyway, so we have the author's fanfiction page. We went over that. If you liked the story, I'll leave a good review. That's the other link. Okay, I got that. If you like how I did it, you can leave a comment. Okay, I got that. It's not my fanfiction. It's Milady Montrose. Okay, I did that. And let's begin. This, after I turn the mic, whoop. This was What Was That Thud? Steven arrived at the barn. What happened, Peridot? Peridot intercepted him. A bird flew into the side of the barn. Steven gasped. Oh no, where is it? Lapis and Peridot led Steven around to the backside. A small black blob was several feet away, staring at the woodwork. Steven approached, and the black blob became a brown blob, and then became a very small bird. The bird stared at the woodwork. Steven leaned in a little, curious. I've never seen a bird up this close before. Peridot and Lapis joined him in looking at the bird. It was about 6 inches long, and Steven thought he saw a black chin and a brown area right before the bird's head. Its wings had almost a tortoiseshell-like pattern, as they were chestnut and black, and the bird began to tilt its head. It's a house sparrow, said Steven. Really? Asked Peridot. Steven nodded in reply. Should we keep it? I think we should rescue it. He might have a family, and if we kept him, he'd never see them again. Lapis leaned over the bird. She gave it a hesitant poke. Yeah. Hold on, Lapis. I don't know how to rescue it. Let's think before doing something. Oh. Lapis retracted her fingers, staring at the one who poked the bird. Sorry. Oh, it's okay. We'll have to touch it eventually. You can do it when that happens. Peridot said with a finger in the air. Birds have hollow bones. A single misstep could crush them. Steven blinked. Really? I thought bird bones were extra strong to make up for the hollowness. Peridot frowned at the bird, sinking to her hands and knees. More research is required. Steven settled his chin on his fist. Wait a moment. Let's look it up. It took Steven a few minutes, and this time the sparrow began to chirp and tilted its head more energetically, still staring at the barn's wood. Steven read aloud, Examine the bird for external injuries. Peridot placed a finger on the bird's back. It ruffled a bit, but otherwise did nothing. After a moment, Peridot straightened. I think none of its bones are broken. I didn't sense any metals out of place. Steven glanced at the bird. Also, its wings are folded. So they're not broken? Lapis concluded. Now, we need to check the eyes to see if they're okay. How do we do that? I don't think I could stick my fingers in its eyes to check them out. Maybe see if it's blinking? Lapis watched the bird. It's blinking. Steven sat down and crouched near the bird. Now we have to see if it can perch in a branch. Lapis watched as Steven crawled up. Steven? Yeah? Maybe you could use your healing spit. Steven thought about that. I don't think it's hurt, just stunned, but that's a good idea, Lapis. Lapis shifted her weight from one foot to the other. Steven stuck a finger in his mouth and carefully brushed the spit on the house sparrow's back. It shook its wings, and nothing else happened. Stephen settled his fingers over the bird as they closed, and Stephen began to scoop up the bird. It began to flutter around. Stephen's hands yanked back, and the bird settled down and did not fly away. "Did something happen, Stephen?" asked Peridot urgently. No. It just felt kind of weird. Its wings, "I'll do it," said Peridot, glancing at Lapis after she turned away a bit. Peridot mimicked Stephen, placing her hands over the bird, enclosing it in darkness. Sweeping her palms underneath it, she picked it up as gently as she could. Ta-da! She showed her catch to an impressed Lapis and an anxious Stephen. Trying to calm him. "Don't worry, Stephen. The bird's fine. We'll place it in a bush, a nice, comfy, dark one, and when it recovers, it'll fly away." Stephen nodded. The two followed Peridot to an appropriate bush. "How does it feel?" "It's fluffy and scratchy at the same time." Peridot chuckled as she repositioned her fingers to leave the bird's feet dangling out. They were suspended in the air like the bird were clutching at an imaginary branch. Peridot hovered the bird over a branch with a good width. It made no motion to grab the branch. She gently pressed the bird's feet against the branch, and it grabbed it. "Yes!" Peridot slowly let go of the bird, and the bird fluttered its wings, righting itself in the bush. The two gems and the boy retreated a bit. "Okay, mission success." "Yay! I'm glad we could help the bird," cried Stephen, wiping sweat from his brow. "What if it's really hurt and we didn't notice?" asked Lapis, placing a damper on the excitement. Stephen removed the damper. "We can check on the bird every 5 minutes to see if it flies away. It's nice and dark, and the bird should recover soon." Indeed, after an hour, the house sparrow regained its senses and flew away, like it hadn't smashed into the side of the barn a couple of hours ago. So, what was that THUD by Milady Montrose? Obviously from the Steven Universe fandom. If you enjoyed it, please hit the links down below, give a good review. If you enjoyed how I did it, you know what to do. I think by this point everyone who has been on the internet knows what to do. But in any case, thank you for listening, and you have a good one. Ta-ta for now.